And it's a very good morning to the Gelding on what's one of the feature race days of the year, Gelding Oaks Day at Flemington. And we're primed after an excellent Melbourne Cup Day where you picked the Quinella, and congratulations to you. And you also got the Parlay, the place Parlay bets up. So you're on fire, mate.
Oh, Professor, yes, we got our place Parlay up. Two placings from you and two placings from myself. Couldn't let Very Elegant go around without having something on her, Professor. As you probably noticed doing that racing, she's one of my favourites and one of our favourites now. And I know some of the listeners had a very, very good collect on Very Elegant. So it was good. My main bet was on incentive, but had a nice saver on Very Elegant at juicy odds of 16-1. So
well, Gelding, the giraffe congratulated you for your tip of Very Elegant, I believe.
Yes, Professor. I think the giraffe. I'll be putting my hand out for a beer from him when I see him.
Oh well, only 5 weeks before that might happen.
Yes, looking very much. That's in the diary, Professor. That's going to be one of the all-time beauties, I think. Looking forward to it.
It's one of the feature days for Sports Fan Radio.
Well, hopefully Danny from that establishment was listening and might have had a bit on Very Elegant himself.
Well, he may well have. We'll have to find that out, won't we?
Yeah, certainly will. But we're having a pretty good run this spring so far, Professor. So
well, let's continue it today.
Yeah, let's try and get a couple on a very hard day. Before we start, I've got to admit I'm a bit surprised to see the track a soft 6. But if any track can handle the rain that we had yesterday, it's Flemington. But I was just kind of thinking, what a week we've had. Friday we've had storms and blackouts everywhere. Then we get to Tuesday and it's 30 degrees and people are down the beach and on the thing. And then yesterday we have, the last race at Kyneton was abandoned, Professor. And
yes.
I know the horse I have a small share in was scratched from it. But, the contrary, storms, 30 degrees, summer day. Pelting down with rain.
Oh, Gelding, that's weather.
Yes, yes. And that's something you've got to take into consideration when you're taking these bets, Professor. The way the wind's going to play, the way the track's going to play. But hopefully Flemington today, I hope it is a soft 6, Professor. I'm working on a little bit heavier with a bit of rain due during the day.
Yes, you're right there, Gelding. Showers have been predicted, so it's going to be a tough one to try and pick. What are your 2 best bets for the day, Gelding?
Well, Professor, I thought I might go a bit early in race 2 and go number 1, Seri Leo Miss, Craig Williams, Simon Wild, scratch from Saturday to be saved for this race. As I was talking to you off air, one of our other horses that we follow, Foxy Frida, I'm very, very wary about this. But Sarah Leo Miss, since coming back from a spell, has had 3 starts for 3 wins, Professor. And if Simon Wild's prepared to scratch it to wait for this race, only 7 runners, I think that might get us off to a good start at round about the 240, 250 mark, Professor.
Oh, nice selection, Gelding, to start off the day. What's your second selection?
Well, we'll go in the Oaks, Professor.
Got to have a bet in the feature race, Gelding.
Hey?
You've got to have a bet in the feature race.
Got to have a bet. Yep, I agree. Look, it's very open. I like the top 4, Professor. But
I only want one, Gelding.
Well, that's right. Well, normally the winner of the Coonji or second, which is Willowy and Daisies, I would normally be backing them, but Look, I'm going to go the top weight, Exclusive Express. Ran second in the Caulfield Guineas. This horse, the last 5 runs, 2 wins, 2 seconds and a third, Professor. So very consistent. I just think the Freemans might be due for a Group 1. They haven't featured yet. So hopefully they can get up with Jai McNeil. The query, of course, is the distance, 2,500. It's a big step up to come from a mile race into that, but if anyone can do it, the Freeman. So we'll go race 8, number 1, Professor, and it's around about $4.60. You might get $5. So, you know, it's a each way mark. So I think it could be a good each way bet, Professor. And so my 2 tips are race 2, number 1, and race 8, number 1. So hopefully the ones can figure very prominently today, Professor.
A day for the top weights, Gelding.
Hopefully. And you like, Professor?
All right, Gelding. I'm going to go first selection race 4 in the Twitter Trophy, the aptly named Twitter Trophy. That's a race benchmark 90 over 1,800 metres, and I like horse 13 Saltpeter. Coming out of barrier 8, it's had 17 starts for 4 wins and 2 placings. Its win rate's 24%. Its place rate's 35%. It's a last start winner at Caulfield. It's won 2 in a row. It's won over the distance, so it ticks a few boxes for me. It offers great each way odds, Gelding. It was listed at $5.50 and $2.10 this morning, but I got $6.50 and $2.15 last night, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Oh, beautiful, Professor.
And one of our favourite jockeys, Lukey Curry's in the driver's seat.
Yes.
He's in equal career form at the moment with 10% winners over his career and also over his last 50. And one of the trainers we take a bit of interest in, Gelding at Caulfield, John Maloney, much underrated trainer. Very
good bloke, John Maloney, and knows how to train horses, let me tell you. Professor, I have had horses with him before. Lovely bloke, John. And I tell you what, he's got his stables up and firing at the moment. I would have. I'm sure you got the figures there for how he's going, but I would have thought his last 50, there's been a big increase in percentage rate.
Well, you're actually quite correct there, Gelding. You're on the money. Over his last 50, he's got a 12% win rate, which is up several percent on what his career rate is. So he's doing very well.
Yeah. And for a Batook stable at Caulfield, you know, John hasn't got the horses like a Peter Moody or a Ma Eustace and things like that. So, and hasn't got the real super expensive horses. So he's doing quite well.
Doing very well, Gelding.
Yep.
So one to watch there, Saltpeter, horse 13 in race 4. And my second selection is in race 7, the Melbourne Cup Carnival Country Final, a benchmark 80 race over 1,600 metres. Horse 2 hasn't put a foot wrong. 4 starts, 4 wins, Riot and Reyes. The grey. So look for the grey horse and you'll find Riot and Reyes.
Beautiful, Professor. Nice juicy odds there too.
Yes, not bad for a horse that's had 4 starts, won them all, and also in its second last start, won at Caulfield over the same distance. Where else would you get $4.40 and $1.95, Gelding?
Exactly, Professor. And I think it races in some colours that I'll have a look around the corner and see Atlantic Rose hanging up there on the wall. Maybe racing in the Wiley Dalziel colours, I think.
Yes, it does. It does race in the Dalziel racing colours, Gelding. You've got that quite right.
So we wish Wiley the best for that.
Sorry, Gelding?
We wish Wiley the best.
Well, we do. Yes, we do.
Today, a $500,000 race.
Yeah, that'd be a nice one to pick up, wouldn't it, Gelding?
Yeah, it would have been handy, Professor. I know a horse that was actually aimed for it that didn't quite come up to it.
And Dalziel Racing, a part owner.
Yes. So Wiley's got a share in this one. Sorry, I didn't get did you get the phone call from him?
No, I didn't get the email either.
Oh, right. Okay.
All right, Gelding. Lukey Nolan's in the saddle. He's in career form. His usual career mark's 13%, but over his last 50, he's 16%. So that's a terrific increase. Peter Moody, the trainer, being spoken about a lot recently. He's in career form over his last 50, 22%. So it's pretty good that when you're a fifth of the horses you're saddling up are winning. So winning form's good form.
Yeah,
so let's be on that.
Professor, I'm just having a look at both your tips, and again, fantastic each way value for our listeners. So, yeah, if they're running a places, you're not losing money on it. In fact, you're making a little bit. And as we always said, we got the place parlay up for our listeners on Tuesday. So if you're having a bet like that, you're getting odds of 10 to 1 for a place parlay. So, let's go with both of them, Professor. Both lovely tips.
Well, Gelding, you could do worse than taking the 4 horses in a place parlay, but as you say, your return's 10 to 1, so that's not to be sneezed at. We don't want to be greedy. All we want to do is make a profit.
Thank you, Professor. You make me laugh. That's right. We're not greedy. We just want it all.
All right, Gelding, the Professor's parlay.
The very successful Professor's parlay.
Yes, and I was right with my selection of Kansas City Chiefs to beat the New York Giants. They just squeaked home, but that's all they have to do. All they have to do is be in front at the final whistle.
Oh, Professor, and our horse tip ran second. So, we were close again. So, Anyway.
All right, Gelding, the agreed bet of the day is race 2, horse 1, Cirileo Miss. And let's parlay that. We'll give the NFL a little bit of a holiday this weekend. Let's go to the Premier League. I'm more confident about those selections. Chelsea, the top team in the Premier League, are playing 18th side Burnley, who are in the relegation zone. Chelsea at home, out of 10 starts, they've won 8, drawn 1 and lost 1. That's terrific form. They've got a goal difference of plus 23. Burnley, on the other hand, 10 starts for only 1 win, 4 draws and 5 losses with a -6 goal difference. $1.25 for that one, Gelding. I think that's pretty good odds for a home team.
Team on top of the ladder playing 18 at home, and you're getting $1.25. Sounds too good, Professor.
Yeah, hopefully it's not too good to be true, Gelding.
Yeah, just sounds too good.
And let's parlay that into Brighton and Hove Albion to beat Newcastle. Newcastle having a terrible season. They're the away team, 19th, second last, 4 draws and 6 losses from 10 starts. No wins at all, Gelding. -12 goal difference. Brighton are 8th, 4 wins, 4 draws, 2 losses. They're at home. I prefer them. $1.61 on that one as well, Gelding. So the all up for the parlay 5 to 1. So that's a pretty good
nice, Professor. Again, just good little value for. And let's hope we get as we say to our listeners, the hard league's the horse league. Let's see. Hopefully that gets up, and then we can watch the soccer with interest, Professor.
Yeah, we'll be out of our misery after race 2 today, Gelding. So we'll know early on.
You're a hard man, Professor. We'll be. What's the right way of putting it? We'll be celebrating the horse's victory, waiting for the EPL to start.
Now, Gelding, I don't know whether they still have it because I don't buy the Herald Sun and I don't look in the racing guide. But do they still have the Sun Whispers? Remember, there used to be the Sun Whispers in the racing guide. My grandmother used to go over the Sun Whispers with me.
Yeah, they don't have the Whispers so much now, Professor. They have some of their writers and that give their tips, and they give 2 or 3 tips and
like
things
us.
Yeah, Professor. You know what? I'd back us against them. Having a look at them, Professor.
We're having a pretty good spring carnival, Gelding. It's not magnificent, but it's effective.
We're not hearing many groans from listeners, Professor.
No, we're not. Now, so my son Whisper,
And
if you
believe me,
like,
some of these people will groan.
the Professor's Whisper.
Yes,
All
the
right.
Whisper, the new
Yeah.
segment.
Now, I'm probably not telling you anything, Gelding, but race 8 at Pakenham tomorrow.
Yes.
You haven't said much about it.
Well, it may not be running, Professor.
And it may be. Well,
it may be running on. I might have a special for us at Ararat on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Okay. For our listeners, the Sharon, I've got a Sharon, a horse called Drop the Mic, which was supposed to go around at Kyneton yesterday in the last, but was scratched for it, second emergency. As it turned out, good move because the race was abandoned. The backup plan was to run Friday night at Pakenham. Billy Egan's been booked again. I don't know. We can't seem to get the same jockey for 2 runs in a row. Like Will Gordon, you win the race and then you get sacked. But that's our trainer. But now she's come up with another plan, because originally the plan was to run it in race 7 today at Flemington, Professor. But the horse didn't make it. So the plan at the moment is to maybe race it at Ararat on Sunday. Give the tracks a bit of a chance to dry out. Pakenham might be a bit wet tomorrow night for it. So that is the plan. But don't worry, Professor. I'll know more tomorrow morning and I'll let you know. I'll give you a little text so you can put it on the website if you want.
It's already a soft 7 at Pakenham, Gelding.
Yeah, well, if it's a soft 7, it won't be racing, Professor.
Oh, well, there you go. So my son Whisper wasn't all that good.
No, it was on the mark. It was on the mark, but yeah, there's as you know, I've got a bit of frustrations, Professor, as I've told you, that the plans for this all seem to change every second minute. So anyway, we'll move on from that.
All right, Gelding. Well, good luck today. And our next run around, our next start will be Saturday at 10 a.m. So until